Hello my friends and welcome to Crystal Cove State Park, almost Crystal Cove State Park. I've actually come to a spot called Scotsman Cove right beside Crystal Cove because it's a little less popular, but it's still way more popular than I'd care for it to be. There are a lot of people here today. It is a clear blue sky day and I almost didn't come out. These conditions do not inspire me. But I decided maybe I'd come out and try to do a day of minimalism. Long exposure stuff, some quote-unquote gentle waves crashing over the rocks. And this location's kind of perfect for that sort of thing. So that's what I'm doing right now. I've set up on my first shot out here. I've got one big rock, just kind of taking this first warm-up shot, see what I find and see how it comes out. So once I'm set up and doing this shot, show you what's happening. Welcome, welcome my friends. It is in fact a beautiful day, despite there being no clouds. Okay friends, shot number one is set. One big rock out here in the ocean, waves coming in, crashing around it, doing a 30-second exposure at f/16 ISO 100. I have the horizon set at the 2/3 of the way up into my frame, so there's a little bit of sky, not a lot of sky, and again, there's no detail in this sky, so this long exposure is just to kind of mush everything together and kind of make it really minimalistic. That's kind of probably what we're going to do today, a lot of minimalist shots. So 30-second exposure on this guy, letting it go. There's a sailboat currently out in the background, kind of waiting for that guy to pass by, and then we're going to push the button and wait 30 seconds to see the image. I'll show you here what we're looking at on the back of the camera right now. Here you can see I have my big rock right out there, waves coming and crashing in around it. Got that horizon about 1/3 up. Polarizer on there, take a little bit of the glare off of that rock. It's not doing a whole lot. The sun's almost directly overhead. And a 10 stop neutral density. That's giving me that 30-second exposure at an ISO 100 f/16 and 30 seconds. Friends, here's another one, and this one is simple. This is just a fun shaped rock, and there's half a shell laying next to it. I think it's a mussel shell. It's very dark, has a little bit of the metallic sheen to it, and the shape of this rock is really, really great. And then there's a little tiny pebble sitting in this little tiny kind of alcove looking section of this rock. Little tiny bit of seaweed draped over the top. And then I have a nice diagonal line in the sand leading in to my whole little scene here. That's the shot. It's really simple, just looking straight down. Doesn't get any more minimalistic than this, I don't think. It's a rock in the sand. I'll show you here what we are looking at. Here we go. I'm shooting this at a 200 millimeters, so my finger's ginormous. Cool shaped rock, cool little shell, great little diagonal. You can see that little tiny bit of seaweed draped over the top. That's the shot. The settings on this are pretty straightforward. ISO 100, f/16, 1/200th of a second. There is a polarizer on the lens, but it's not doing any good. It's just kind of, it's doing nothing really other than slowing down my shutter speed, and it's still at 1/200th of a second. But I am underexposing the shot by about 2/3 just to kind of preserve a little bit of those highlights in the shot. This one's all about the shape of this rock and this fun little shell. That's this one. 2 shots on this crowded beach here in Crystal Cove. Okay friends, this is gonna be a little bit nuts, a little bit crazy. I'm changing my filming tactic because it's fast paced out here on this beach, believe it or not. This minimalistic photography is proving to be a thing, and especially since I've got some sea anemones in and among these rocks, and they're really, really gorgeous, and I want to get a photo of them, but it's quick. I'm diving in, finding one, focusing on it, waiting for the wave to go away, and then I'm just like rattling off a bunch of shots at like 200, 600th of a second, whatever my settings are. So what I'm gonna do is attach you to my tripod with my camera. We're gonna dive in, we're gonna try and find a shot, and then I'm gonna show it to you. I don't know if I'm gonna get this. It's so hard. It's so hard. Oh my God. The ocean is kicking my butt today. It really is. It's making it hard. Every time I try to get set up on a shot, the waves come in and obscure the shot, or the water comes up to my knees or my butt. I'm soaked, covered in sand. I'm feeling very defeated. So I stepped back. However, here comes the ocean again to get a simple shot of some mussels clinging to a rock. I've got this half-round rock sticking up out of the beach here, and there's a bunch of mussels clinging to it. So that's the shot. Just kind of clinging to a ledge, so there's this nice little diagonal row of cluster of mussels clinging onto a rock face. Really simple, shooting this at an ISO 100, f20 for some reason, 1/6 of a second. F20 will give me plenty of depth of field on this, I hope. Single shot, click and done. Show you here what we are looking at. There it is, you can see. I can't get any wider here for my video frame because I'm already shooting at 70 millimeters, but you can see got all these great mussels running down along this ridge of rock as the ocean comes in and goes out, comes in and goes out, and keeps getting my shorts wet. Nice shot of some mussels on a rock here. Have a few other shots as well. I'm gonna move down the beach a little bit more, head back towards the car, see what else we can find. My thought was to come out here and do some minimalistic photography because there's no clouds in the sky, right? That was my initial thought at the beginning of this day before it all went sideways and I got frustrated at the ocean, which is a ridiculous thing. But on my way back, I decided what can be more minimalistic than a shot of virtually nothing. So I'm pointing my camera straight out at the ocean. No rocks, no foreground elements, nothing. Little sand, little wave, little sky. That's the image. 30-second exposure, letting it all just smooth right out. Hopefully, it's a nice, calm image. I'll show you here what the camera's pointing at, which is not much of anything, but that honestly, that's the point of this one today. That's my shot. A little bit of waves coming in on the beach, a little bit of ocean, a little bit of sky. 30-second exposure, let it all just mush together. And like I said, I hope it's just kind of a nice, serene scene. Friends, we are heading back. I kind of let my frustration get the better of me today. The images today were marginally successful. The video, I think, suffered. I was a little self-conscious recording in front of people. The beach continually got more and more crowded as the day went on, and the parking lot was packed by the time I got back to the car. Hence, my recording this now on the drive home. But I think the images were somewhat successful today. I set out to do some minimalist type images of water over rocks. I even got one of just water going out into the horizon. That's pretty minimalist. But as I was trying to take some of the smaller, more intimate scenes, just the waves coming in, the sand moving around me sinking into the sand, everything getting wet, everything getting sandy, I kind of just got frustrated and I let it overwhelm me. And so I suffered for that. My day suffered for that. My art suffered for that today. But I still had a great day out. Lovely time at the beach, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. And if you'd like to see some more of my work, please head on over to toddhphoto.com. Over there you can see the images I've been creating throughout the years. And while you're there, I would love it if you subscribed to my mailing list. There, I mail out my blog twice a month. You get early access to that blog, and as a subscriber to my mailing list, you get free access to the featured image for 1 week before the blog is published on my website. And if you enjoyed my work and my website and would like to support me, I have 3 different ways you can do that. You can support through the contribute button at the bottom of my website. Any donation is greatly appreciated. You can purchase any of the images that have been featured in my blog for $1, a digital download. Or you can purchase a fine art print. I have a small selection of some of my personal favorites available as fine art giclée prints. Those are 3 different ways you can support me if you enjoyed this video and you enjoy my work, and I hope that you do. But from Crystal Cove in Southern California, so long, and we'll see you next time.